This is a Liliput model of a fireless steam locomotive, which is going to be really interesting to have a look at. It was produced after Liliput got bought out by Bachmann, and therefore this is a model that's been in China. It was originally released into the Liliput range in 2008, and it remained in production until around about 2013 or 2014, around about that time. This one is number L102992, and you can see that it's actually AC compatible, so this is meant to work on Markland track. You can see it's a Henschel steam locomotive from Epoch 4. And I actually have two of these. This one here is 102901, but this box actually just contains a big pile of parts which I'm going to have to try and fix. But this video is going to be about this one here, so we're going to do a review of this, and then in another video I'll use this as a kind of model to put together the parts that I've got in the other box. So let's get this open and we'll check out what we've got. Well, we've certainly got a lot of leaflets in with this little locomotive, so I'm thinking this one might actually be DCC because we've got this leaflet about lock pilot. It's all in German though, which is not really that helpful to me, and it certainly looks pretty complicated as well. Down here we can see that the leaflet was printed in 2005. And we also have this leaflet here, which tells you a little bit about the history of the locomotive. This one is in English, and it talks about how Henschel produced this locomotive between 1907 and 1958, and it had a total of 230 built in different sizes. And obviously this fireless locomotive was designed to be used in industrial locations where, you know, having a fire was a bit of a risk. So things like a sugar factory, or maybe where they make explosives or something like that. It's quite a good quality instruction sheet, this one, and it details how to keep this lubricated and working well. We've also got an extensive parts list here, which is going to be really handy when I start putting together the other one. And we also have this final one, which is talking about fitting the shoe for third rail pickup. And also we have this little bag of couplings which haven't been fitted to the model, so I'm actually thinking this hasn't really been used that much. Although if I have a quick look at the third rail shoe at the bottom here, it does have some scratches on it, which would be an indication that possibly it has been used. And here is the model, and what a fantastic little locomotive this is. It's great colour scheme in this yellow and red, and it's certainly got a lot of interest to it. So let's have a closer look. Well, it's certainly a small little thing, but also it's kind of quite chunky as well, with this rather large tank on the front here. The yellow moulding seems to have a separate part on the front here, and then the tank itself, and then the cab also. These parts are in yellow. We've got it on a black footplate, and then we have a red chassis underneath, which I think is made of metal, and it looks as though we have a grey extra piece for the roof. At the front we've got this little part here which is meant to be a tap. I think it's in black plastic, and we have this part up here which I believe is a light, and we have these handrails which are in black plastic, which are really fine as well, which have been added in along with this ladder going up here. And we have another part up here, I think that's probably a whistle up there, an extra piece that's been put in, as is this part here. I'm not sure what that is, but it's an extra piece. The tank has some ribs on it and some pipes coming down from the central part. Inside there we have a black piece that's been printed onto the yellow. It doesn't look as though it's been done that well. If you just look at the edges, you can see where the paint doesn't go around the edges there. It could actually just benefit with a little bit of a touch up as well. Got another one further down the tank there, which has the same issues. The cab area really has some nice printing on it. I love these little plates where it says GEE3, and it has black printed onto it as well by the door here, but again it's not all the way up and over the edge because it's got a bit of a yellow part there. And we have these hoods over the windows which are also painted black, and they're done not too bad. Although if I come around this side, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this in the video, it's a little bit fuzzy around the edges up here. The cab is fully glazed, including this area over here. I'm not actually sure whether that would be glazed in real life, but we have glazing on here, very clear plastic. Inside you can see that it has some of the circuit board and a lot of cabling as well. So there's no interior detail on this little locomotive. Around the back we've got some wasp stripes down here which look really good, and the buffers as well with the white surrounds. Looks as though we've got some lighting here. A very interesting pipe coming up the back of the cab, and a couple of windows as well with the black surrounds across the top. Another light at the top, and I think that's probably just some hatches or something moulded in there. The rivet detail is actually really good, very fine as well. This roof part has got some nice mouldings parts on it. Looks like those are maybe meant to be maybe lift rings or something. It has a little stud in the middle as well. No moulding marks, which is great. And then also at the front we've got some lights. We've got these little markers here, which this one seems to be bent a little bit. I don't want to bend it back in case I break it, so I'll just leave it. And we've got some more wasp stripes on the buffer beam and some details as well, and the buffers with the circles. A couple of steps coming down here from the footplate. And then if we look at the chassis in red, it's got a lot of rivet detail on it, very nice little wheels, brakes very much in line with them as well, and really nice valve gear coming back to this here, which is a bit different from normal steam locomotives that normally have that at the front. We've got some steps coming down here as well, and you can see underneath we're dominated by this skid for 3-rail pickup. But what I did notice, which is really good, it's got NEM pockets front and rear, and these actually move back and forward as well with little springs on them, so that's really quite cool. Even at this size of locomotive that they've decided to make these articulate, which is really quite incredible. So aside from some small masking problems on the black, this actually looks really good. And those masking problems could be probably fixed up with a little bit of paint yourself if you want. It's a wonderful looking locomotive, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get this working, so I'm going to give it some power off my H&M controller and see what happens. I'm not hopeful for it working, but we'll see. Well, I didn't actually expect it to move at all when I put the power onto it there, because I was using DC and this is an AC model, but it did actually run, so that's quite incredible. And the lights came on too, which is cool. But because I don't have any Markland 3-rail track, I'm not going to actually be able to get this running on any rails. But it's good that the model does work, but let's put it on the scales and see how much it weighs. So this model comes in at 136 grams. So Liliput's model of this Henschel Fireless locomotive, I actually think it's a really cool little model. It's definitely something a bit different, and we've seen other manufacturers tackling fireless locomotives. Here in the UK, for example, Rapido have one that I think is going to come out quite soon if it hasn't already, and it's certainly something very different. I did actually see a fireless locomotive like this in a museum in Poland recently, and it's quite an unusual locomotive. I love seeing them as well. It's just something a bit different. I think this model is really quite good. It does have some of the shortcomings, I think, of a Chinese-made model, in that it does have some little parts here and there which are maybe a little bit flimsy, and I don't think it's robust at all. And like I said about the masking on the black, it's just not 100% perfect, and I think it probably should, because this is a fantastic prototype to model and would make for a really interesting model on your layout. It seems like the cab is just full of electronics though, and we don't have any interior, which is a bit of a shame, and I'm not sure whether the glazing on the door area is actually prototypical or not. I don't think it is. And obviously with it being 3-rail, it's got an awful lot of kind of electrical model pickup stuff going on down the bottom, which I think really detracts from the look of the model. But its character does shine through, and I think on a layout this would look absolutely fantastic. So I've kind of got mixed feelings about this. I think it's a great prototype, but I think this is maybe not the best execution, although it is actually pretty good and, you know, pretty acceptable as well. So I've got mixed feelings about this, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. So I'll need to get on and actually fix this other one that I've got, which is in green, and use this yellow one as the model to make sure I get it right. So I'll need to crack on with that. That'll probably be the next video that'll come up on his channel. But for now, let me get this on the turntable so you can see all the way around. And in a moment, another video will appear. If you click on that, I'll see you there. But that's it for this one. Thanks for checking out this locomotive with me, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo. So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo.